And recording. All right. Hi, everyone. This is our team call for, it is May 24th, 2017, sorry. And today we're going to talk about, I kind of just saved my notes from when we were going to do a team call, like I think 2 weeks ago, and we ended up just having a gab session, which was fabulous. But talking about just putting your horse blinders on and doing what needs to be done for your business, but not worrying about necessarily the immediate results. So if you listen to YouTube videos from, top coaches, they will talk to you, they will use the term putting your horse blinders on a lot, because this business in a wonderful way is not instantaneous. And I wouldn't want to be a part of it if it was, because if, just like when we're promoting the lifestyle that we live, the, working out, eating clean, drinking Shakeology, these things aren't like, okay, you're going to do one core de force workout and you're going to have abs. It's not going to happen. And that's good, because I get the icky feeling when people want to try to sell me a wrap, and no hard feelings to I've bought them. I actually never used it because it made me very nervous, because she then told me kind of use sweat a lot. And anyways, but that's the same thing with the business, is that just like one good day on your workout plan isn't going to get you results. One good day on your power hour isn't going to get you to, diamond. And one bad day on your workout isn't going to have you gain 10 pounds. And one bad day in your power hour, your business isn't going to drop you rank. It's consistency over time. So our objective for this call, so that I stay on topic, is to gain an understanding of the compound effect, remove comparison of others, trust in the process, and do the process. So actually, I'm going to make me big because I keep looking. All right. So again, or if you just jumped on, I don't have slides tonight. It's just me talking. I listened to a lot of Miguel today, and he gets super pumped up. So I got super pumped up earlier, and thinking about just this process and how, as an entrepreneur and a CEO of this business, you are going to have so many ups and downs. And I think a lot of us might be feeling, or maybe not at this moment, but in the last little bit have been feeling some of the downs, because you're chugging away so hard. And when I'm saying any of this, please know that I'm talking directly about myself as well. I am not speaking to one person or to a group of people. This is me. This applies to me. And I think it's important to know that when you're having an issue with something, someone else is too. You're not alone. And that's the beautiful thing about coaching, is that there's not a definitive number of or amount of success in this world that we each have to just grab our part and then hold it on tight and run with it. We all can be equally successful, or more successful, less successful. It doesn't matter. I am the upline coach, but you can all surpass me. It doesn't matter. We just are a team, and we can help each other in different parts of our journey. I've had really strong areas of my business, and then I've had really hard times. When I first got pregnant with Cami, all my momentum was lost, and that was really, really hard. And then you start going, and then recently, I just got really busy in life, and it's not that I didn't have an excuse to lean on, oh, I got pregnant or something. And that was kind of hard. I felt like I was putting in a lot of work, and I wasn't getting the results I wanted. But in reality, I wasn't doing what we're supposed to be doing. The compound effect works because, not because you're showing up and you're sitting in front of your computer every day and you're checking in, you're getting on your news feed once a day, and that's compounding over time. The compound effect works in this business because the seeds that you plant are watered over and over and over and over again. So in every aspect of your business, you're watering seeds. If it is your personal development, it's, oh, do I hear baby? No. If it's if it's personal development, you can't just read one thing of personal development and then be, I am a fix-it. I have to tell this story. So it's not a downer story, but it's a funny to me story, because this is my life. When my mom passed away, the next day I made my best friend take me to the store to get how-to books on how to deal with grief, because I was like, I'm gonna need to fix this right about now because this is really hard and I'd like to get over this grief thing as fast as possible. Well, it doesn't work like that. And I'm sure you all know that. And I learned that quickly too, is that you don't just read one personal development book one time or listen to one video and hear and absorb everything you get from it and just feel great. You plant a seed in your brain, such as removing your limiting belief. Okay, we've all heard that before. If you haven't heard that before, that is this terrible thing, not terrible, I guess it's just normal. What we all do is that we put ourselves in this little box that nobody else put us there, we put us there, where we're thinking that we are not pretty enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, we don't have enough time, we can never be like whoever, and we put ourselves in this little box and we make this limiting belief. So then you plant that seed of removing limiting belief, and you hear that term and you're like, oh, that's awesome, I love that. But just because you heard it one time doesn't mean your limiting belief is removed and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm free, I'm going to conquer the world. It doesn't work like that. So the compound effect works because you plant that seed of, oh my gosh, maybe I'm more than this. Maybe I deserve more to be up to my eyeballs in debt. Maybe I deserve more than just the average level of happiness that I felt. And then you water that seed every single day. And then you strengthen yourself. Personal development done. That's how the compound effect works with that. So if you're feeling, and that's the cool thing about personal development, is that it's so personal to you. And so, it's good and bad. It's not like I can give you this list of 1 to 50, what book you need to read, and then you will be a top coach, just get through those. It doesn't work like that. It's you needing to look inside of what you need to improve on, whatever that may be. And then continuing to water that. And I kind of needed a gut check on this because I was really into like Brene Brown and like the power of vulnerability and all those things for so long. And that got me like jazzed up. Like I did live videos and I got like great response on it and people were loving it and my posts were just more heartfelt. And then I kind of thought like, oh, I'm good now. Like I don't need that anymore. And I moved on and I started listening to different kinds of books. And those books I think I needed too, but it wasn't speaking to my heart. It wasn't speaking to my personality and what I needed. And now I'm going back to those books and I'm feeling that passion again. And so whatever you need to do to fuel yourself up, to feel yourself better, I mean, I don't think there's any shame in every day needing to do personal development in vulnerability if that's something that you need. It's not like you just get over vulnerability. It's not like your shame gremlins, if you've listened to Brene Brown, just go away forever. You might get them smaller, but they'll come back. Like my mom's best friend, Patricia, she got me like all into, even before I started coaching, like just about being healthy mentally, and she did positive affirmations every single day. And I used to do it and it was so wonderful. And she's the same way. Then you kind of think you don't need to anymore. But then you get super negative. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I should do that again. It's like, why did I stop? So it's like, if we just kept going and kept watering the same seeds, we would just continue to get stronger. Being proof that products work with the compound effect is obviously sticking to your workout plans and your clean eat, or if you do Fixate or whatever you do, or just improving your nutrition, drinking your Shakeology. How many challengers have you had? Please, raise your hand or whatever. If they've tried Shakeology one time and are like, oh, I don't like it, because they took water and they like mixed it with a spoon or something, like something terrible that you're like, why would you do that? But I did it too when I first had Shakeology. I only mixed it with water, and I was like, I don't think it's that great. And then you give it a week, and then you don't feel the side effects, and then they're over it, and then they're gone. You've lost them for now, because they do come back. I will tell you that people come back wanting to try it because they miss it, and then they think, why is it working for all these people and it didn't work for me? Oh wait, because I didn't do it right. And don't feel as a coach that you can't mess up, that you can't miss a workout, that you can't miss multiple workouts, that you can't like today we had freaking cake for breakfast at work. It's real life. I don't like it. Just it shows that you're human, and nobody wants, people want to be inspired by people who are getting results, but the results don't necessarily have to be flat abs. It's just results. It's just change. I decided that I'm going to actually, because people tell you this all the time, to speak to your market. But in the beginning, you're like, but I'll take anybody. I don't really care who'll join my challenge group. Like anybody, I literally, my first challenge group post was, I said, what did I say? I was like, brides, anyone who had a baby, and anyone who wants to fit in a bikini this summer, join my challenge group, which is everybody. Like, that's everybody. I was speaking to everybody. And I started recently just trying to speak to people like me. And for a long time, I thought that would eliminate people who necessarily weren't moms or weren't teachers or weren't those people. But in reality, I've gotten more messages from other people lately who are just drawn to the consistency and who are drawn to the results. Not necessarily that they haven't had a baby and I have, but me speaking to an audience just makes it more consistent. So, be you and get results over time. It's not like, I was just talking to Brenna the other day and I was like, I think 4 or 5 workouts for me is good. Like, I'm not going to feel bad that in quarter force they do 7. I can't feel bad because in my life, I'm literally up to my eyeballs in to-do lists. And if I can do 4 to 5 times a week, that's way better than 0 that I would have been doing if I wasn't in a challenge group. Because I will tell you, on the weeks off, in between challenge groups, I'm down to like 2 or 3 because I just don't have the same motivation and nobody's watching me. So I think nobody can do it. And they kill you. Yeah, for sure. What's the next? Oh, and then invite. Now, invite is the big one for the compound effect. Obviously, the other ones is you have to work on you first to have a business. You can't sell this lifestyle of healthy living if you're not doing it. So being proofs of product work and having personal development is how you have a business. But inviting is how you grow your business. So with the compound effect, this is where you're really, really, really going to see it. And this is where I think we've all felt the most frustrated, to the point where I've wanted to throw my computer. I've wanted to cry. I've wanted to just never do it again. I've wanted to like throw all my Beachbody stuff in the trash and be like, forget it, because these people won't message me back. They're totally ghosting me. Like, what the heck? This girl has told me she's joining a challenge group for 5 months and she's just not doing it. This is the part that we have to put the blinders on the absolute most. You have to get, so much of what we do is emotional, but what you have to do is remove the emotion from it and almost play a numbers game. A lot of us put all of our eggs in one basket, and I used to do that all the time, and I still do sometimes, don't get me wrong. But we put all of our eggs in one basket. You have 1 or 2 people say they're going to join a challenge group, and then you wait for them. And then you're like super pissed at them for not doing it, when really it's about them. So you can't really be mad at them because it is about them. It is frustrating when people say they want to make this change, or they don't have any money and then you see them out to eat, or like they just bought like a new iPhone or something. It is frustrating, but that's their reality, and there's nothing we can do about it. So the compound effect for inviting is that when they say you should invite 2 people a day at minimum, you really should invite 2 people a day at minimum. And I am 100% guilty of like raising my hand times 20 of not doing that. I have had amazing months in my business and periods in my business where I have just done it. And then there have been times where I haven't. I'm growing. I'm never going to pretend to be the leader that is perfect. But I would like to improve on this, and I'm working really hard on it. But when you're thinking, oh my gosh, well, I can't do that. Yes, you can. And this is where I'm going to get yelly and preachy, because what are you asking them to do? Remove all of this stuff about money, because I will tell you that I've had just as many people sign up for a 30-day trial because I'm trying to help them as joint. I mean, maybe not as many as get challenge packs, but I've had so many people do that because I am helping them. I am doing it for them. I don't get anything for a 30-day trial, but if they just don't believe, because some people just don't believe that this at-home stuff is going to work, or whatever their issue is, and you say, you know what, I get it, girl, I've been there, I don't, I've had bills, I get it. Let's do a 30-day trial. Let's have you try the workouts, like stick with me. I'll help you, up your water, like things like that. We'll do little accountability, and that's helping them. When you are sitting in front of your computer and you can't send an invite, it's because you're thinking of your issues with the invite, not their issues. They're over there like watching Netflix. They have no idea you're about to send them an invite, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to freak out. And they have no idea. And if you make it not a big deal, they're not going to think it's a big deal either, in good or bad ways. Not bad, but like, if you're like, hey, because this is literally what I say, hey, I know this is super random because we had just been talking, because we had just been talking. But I wanted to invite you to my upcoming challenge group. I'm not even sure if it's your thing, but if it could be, I would so love to have you because blank. And I'm always genuine, like because you're awesome, or because you're like, you're a cool mom. Like I've literally said, because I legit want to be friends with you. If it's something you might be interested, let me know. I would so love to have you. And then that is so breezy, like, in Friends when she's like, it was breezy, like, and it wasn't, like, that is breezy. That is, just, and then you're okay if they say no, but you have to plant that first seed. And most of my challenge pack sales for the month are never first time buyers or first time invites. They are always follow up. So it's almost like, just get that first invite out of the way so that in 2 months they'll buy a challenge pack. It's kind of like go into it expecting a no, and not because you're being negative, but because it's $160 purchase, which if you compare that to like something else, it's pretty big. It's not like a $20. Okay, look, I like to be in the $10 to $12 on the t-shirt range, right? So if I'm going to buy a $30 t-shirt, like I have to really love it. I think about it. I walk around the store. I like hold it up. I try my hardest to like talk myself out of it, but I really love it and I really want to do it. And I think I'm going to feel really cute in it. So then I eventually get it. But that's so much more than if I see an $8, I'm like in the bag, in the cart. So, when somebody sees a $40 or they go to the gym the same thing, the gym. So they're like, oh, I could do like $30 a month for the gym. Like, that's not so bad, and they just sign up. How many people sign up for freaking gym memberships and pay for years? I did. And it's $30 a month, but they're not using it. So it just takes them more time to decide to invest in this bigger thing. It's not that they're not going to, it's just that it takes more time. And so it's kind of a numbers game. So since people take more time, but you have to reach your goals because you have goals and you deserve these things. You deserve to fill a challenge group of people who want help, that you can help them and you can love them and you can support them. And I love that. I mean, you get a message that, like, I got a message yesterday that this girl who she didn't end up getting the Shakeology, but she got the All Access Pass. And she asked me into a challenge group. She never said anything. She never answered me. And she this is 3 months later. She said, I'm finally on day 9 of 21-day fix and I'm down 7 pounds. Like, you feel so good. Like, that's amazing. She's getting results because she has messaged me that she feels disgusting since she had a baby, that she feels tired and she feels gross and she knows she needs to be working out, but she can't figure it out. Hey, Pay. And Peyton is the cutest baby. So you get into that groove. All right, now I'm distracted because the baby. Hi, Jeff. Everyone's muted. Side note, if you've been on team calls, because Crystal's always on team calls when my husband walks in and he like has his butt crack hanging out, maybe Jeff can be a new addition to that, to that thing. But you have to plant that seed and know that it's about them. And so what are you offering them when you do invite them? So let's say they're like, yes, all in. It's almost more scary when they're like, yeah, I'm totally in. You're like, oh shit, okay, cool. Like, let's do this. But it's so unexpected because, you know, everybody is held to the same standards of Success Club 5. You know, Brigida is, Bonnie is, Lindsay is. These people are all Success Club 5. It's not like, oh, you get to 2-star diamond and you need to make Success Club 10. It still takes talking to a lot of people to get a few people to join, to get a challenge pack. And Beachbody understands that. That's why we all are held to Success Club 5. I'm like stuttering. So I keep losing my train of thought. But, oh shit. So yes, Success Club 5. Yes. Oh my God. It's like I didn't have a baby. Or
the compound effect of all of your invites daily so you can reach your goals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So everybody has that. Thank you, Brenna. So everybody has the same benchmark. And if you think that, you know, you have to remember it's a numbers game. So you can't say like, okay, well, I talked to 5 people are going to join. You know, I watched this really good video and I wish I could find it. It was like, I was a couple months into coaching and it was like, you know, the mathematic equation of making Success Club doesn't really look very positive. But if you invite 60 people on your first month, you know, and 3 people join, so you make Success Club 5, or let's say 5 people join because that's super optimistic. 5 people join, you make Success Club 10. Yay! That's still 55 people that you can have to follow up with. Now, let's be realistic, like majority of them are not going to even answer you, so you're not really going to know if you're going to be able to follow up with them. But like, let's say 20 people that you can follow up with, and then the next month, 20 people, so that's 40 people, and then 60 people, and then 80 people. So it gets a lot easier if you continue to roll with it. If you start and stop, it's very different. You're not going to be able to do it. Peyton's laughing at me. So it's like the well, which this is my favorite analogy, and I think I say it all the time. But the well is the old school water pumps is when you are pumping the well. So I have to shut the door. My husband's home. You're pumping the well so hard to get nothing. Like, you know, Little House on the Prairie, that was my favorite show growing up. So you're like pumping the well so hard and like you're literally, you have to like sweat to get the water up because you're taking it from under the ground. You're building your business from nothing. You know, you are jumping on social media and you're like, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach and I do these things and you should join me. And people at first are like, okay, scroll. And then you're like still there and you're like, hey, I'm still here, join my challenge group. And they're like, scroll. And then eventually when they keep seeing you, they're like, okay, what is this BZ doing? And I say that not in a rude way, but it's like, it's the same thing as if you know, see an advertisement for a movie over and over and over and over. And you're like, I don't like those kind of movies. I don't like those kind of movies. I don't like those kind of movies. Well, eventually you're like, okay, well, what the hell is this movie about? You just are more interested the more you see it. You're at least saying, I'll think about it. You might not say, yes, I'll go see the movie or whatever. But so you as the coach are pumping and you're still smiling on social media. And by day like 15, you're like, oh my God, if I had to post one more smiley selfie, I'm going to lose my mind because nobody seems to like it. And then eventually the water comes up. And it is so easy to keep the water flowing if you keep doing it. Then people are saying, okay, she's still here. Okay, what is this? What do you have going on with this challenge group thing? Or what is this Shakeology stuff or whatever? But when you start and stop, it's harder you kind of have to start again. You know, people at first will say, where did you go? And then, you know, they might go to your page and see the last time you posted or something. But eventually they'll fill that slot in their newsfeed or whatever with someone else, or, you know, Facebook does it for them. It will just fill with someone else, and then they'll get interested in someone else. That doesn't mean that you can't have days that you like miss, or you don't have a good post and nobody sees it. That's not what that is. It's not about the one tiny moment, because it's the compound effect. Remember, it's not one bad day is not going to destroy everything, just like one good day is not going to build anything. It's your overall consistency. So when you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm pumping this well so hard, right before you want to quit is when it will happen. I promise that. I promise you that, because I've seen it in my own business over and over and over. And I narrate to John all the time. And then he's always like, why were you complaining? Like, not why were you complaining, but yes, why were you complaining? Because look, babe, like you did it. And it doesn't always happen like you think. It doesn't always happen. Like, I got in this business and I saw the potential. I saw Brigitte say that she bought a car and a boat in cash. And I was like, I'm in. Like, babe, look at this. We're buying boats. We're buying cash like in 6 months. And he was like, okay, babe. And it was a hard reality check at first for me to realize that it's not that you can't get there in 6 months, because you can, but the work you have to do is intense. And I used to advertise coaching as easy, and I don't want to advertise that anymore. I want to advertise it for people who want to work hard, who want to get uncomfortable, who want to work through shit that would be there whether you were a coach or not. The issues that I have that withhold my success in coaching would be there if I decided to said, I'm not going to coach anymore ever again. I'm not doing it. My fears, my limiting beliefs, and the things I have in my mind would not go away. Neither would my dreams. But I will tell you right now, if coaching wasn't there, I would definitely not be getting there. Right now I'm at least on the path to there. You know, John and I talk all the time, and I was saying this to Brenna the other day. I said, you know, I go to work. I don't want to work. I don't know if that's ever been not clear. I want to be home with my babies. That is what I think about all the time. However, you can't go to work and be miserable. So you have to kind of tell yourself, like, this is fun. Just like how I just started serving again. I don't really want to serve, but you go there and you're like, this is fun. I'm having a good time. Like, I'm totally having, aren't you having fun? We're having fun. Like rolling silverware till 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, this is fun. Aren't you having fun? It's not really fun, but you're telling yourself it's fun, because if not, you would like be miserable, and you don't want to be a miserable person. So you're finding the bright spots of a tough time. But that doesn't mean that me working hard and remove coaching from it, my heart would still want to be home. But at least now I have an opportunity. And your dreams don't have to be my dreams. This is just my dream. But it's not so much just about being home, because I actually love working. I love having money. I love being an equal contributor with my husband. And it's not like I have like this women feminist thing. I actually am like totally fine with if he was a sugar daddy, but he's not. And I like to do things for him too. I like to give, but I have not had money to give like I've wanted to in a very long time. And I was thinking about that. Like, I have 2 sisters with autism, and I would love to go and just take them and get them stuff for their apartment, because like little stuff makes them so happy. Like, their little world is adorable and cute, and like what they love to do, I want to buy them stuff. And so it's not that I want to make more income because I want to go buy and have like a closet full of all brand name clothes. I want to do stuff. I want to have freedom to give the way I want to give. I want to send my dad a bomb-ass wedding present because he got married in a courthouse at New Year's PS. And like, they didn't have a wedding. And it's like, I want to send my dad like a huge present. I want to give because I want to give, not because of the actual physical money. And so the compound effect of all of these things will get me there, will get you there for whatever your dreams are. And if you choose to just fight through this uncomfortable part, you're going to grow in so many more ways. And I posted a lot about that this week, is that I have felt like, okay, I'll be happy when I get here. I'm going to work really, really, really hard. And I'm going to get here and it's going to be super great. And we're going to be so happy, babe. Like, it's going to be so awesome. And then we realized that, like, the journey is the fun part. We moved to Maryland, and Maryland sucks, P.S. Everybody just heads up. Don't move here to the Eastern Shore. Like, I'm just saving you a bunch of money. Don't do it. It sucks. We don't like it. But we have been through so many struggles in the last, it's been like 15 months, we'll say. The last 15 months, we've been through the most struggles we've probably ever been through. And in Arizona, like, my mom passed away. We've lost jobs. We've lost income. We've been through school. We've planned a wedding. We've been through a lot in Arizona and in our relationship together. And moving to Maryland has tested us in ways that I cannot express. I've been more depressed than I've ever been. And I've realized that I've been more happy than I've ever been, because we let go of removing the joy now to get to where we want to be. We're enjoying the journey, and we're loving just the process. We're finding joy in playing on the floor and doing nothing. We're finding joy. I'm finding so much joy in working my business, instead of feeling all this pressure of, oh my gosh, which one of you on my scroll are gonna buy a challenge pack? Like, you look like you need it. Like, could even know that. But that's what I used to do forever. And I would just talk to those people. Instead, I'm just trying to love everyone and trust the process, that I'm just gonna talk to all these people, and I'm going to invite everybody, because you might need it for personal development. You might need it for physicalness. You might need it for water intake. You might need it for community, and you might need it because you need to remember to love yourself. Everybody needs a challenge group for different reasons, and it's selfish for me to not ask. And if they don't want to come, who cares? It doesn't matter. And so trust the process and enjoy it. And just like enjoy doing the dishes, because you have to do them. So just do them. And I say that with the most, I'm trying, because it's like, make it fun. Make the parts that you don't love, make it fun. Make life fun. And then we'll get there, and then we'll say, oh my gosh, we're here, but we had so much fun on the whole way. That doesn't mean you don't have to sacrifice. That doesn't mean that I'm not getting up super early in the morning or staying up. Bye, Danae. Or, staying up super late and giving myself a bedtime because I need, I'm telling myself, my body needs 6 hours of sleep. And so that's what I'm giving myself. And on a lot of days, I'm not giving myself any more, because I do have goals and I do want to get there. And it takes time to grow through this uncomfortableness. It is uncomfortable to invite. It is uncomfortable to post on social media. It is uncomfortable to do these things. But there is nothing wrong about them. There's nothing wrong about being uncomfortable, and there's nothing wrong about inviting or posting or being vulnerable or sharing your story. People are inspired by that. And when you kind of I can't wait to really read this book, but I fall asleep every time I open it. It's not because it's boring, it's because just reading makes me fall asleep. Get over your damn self. When we just get over our damn selves and stop making it about us, and wow, people are going to judge you. I love the quote that Brené Brown uses, like, the people who are in the arena with you, I'm going to butcher it, but the theme of the quote is that, like, people who are judging you are not in the same arena. Like, and if you're not fighting the same fight with me, go ahead and judge me. It's like when someone, okay, Kaylee, you're the only one that doesn't have a child, but you have a puppy, and that's the same thing. You're a dog mom. Yes, there it is. Yes, so exactly. But so when people say, like, who don't have kids or who don't have puppies, they give you like advice. Or like, well, why don't you just do this? Like when I'm on my live video today and like Cami can't get put down, someone was like, just put her down and let her cry it out. And it's like, you're not in this arena with me. So your judgment, it doesn't mean anything. I'm not offended by it because you're not here with me. You're not fighting this fight. So people who are not trying to better themselves, when you are trying to better themselves, let them have their judgment. You can go be miserable. You can go do whatever you want to do over there. I'm here fighting for more. So if you're here fighting for more, give me suggestions. If you're not, bye-bye. So, and I promise you, people who are fighting for more, whether they are into Beachbody or not into Beachbody, like I have very kind people who comment on my stuff who are like airborne reps or whatever, the good ones who understand that they're doing this whole entrepreneurship to give themselves a better life. That's just a mutual respect of you're fighting, I'm fighting, go you. It's like when the kid is having a meltdown in the grocery store and you're like, you are amazing. Like, I love you. I don't know you, but here are the eyes of love. Or if you're at the dog park and somebody like takes a big poop, I don't have dogs, but like it's, you have that mutual respect, and the people who roll their eyes or make faces, then it doesn't matter. So yeah, fight through the uncomfortableness to get where you want to get to. So, trust the process, do the process, and then lastly, remove comparison, because we are all on our own journey. And it is so easy to sit and look at other people and say, well, they just advanced rank, or they posted this, like, why aren't I there? And you just get frustrated and negative with yourself. We are all in such different places. And, we can compare this to fitness. It's like, well, she bought a challenge pack the same time I bought a challenge pack. Why is she down 10 pounds and I'm down 2? Our bodies are different. Our lives are different. You can, but it's just going to make you miserable. I suggest you pick a few coaches who you admire and connect with, not someone that you're envious of. And that's really hard to identify at first. At least it was for me. And then everybody else, unfollow them on your Facebook page so that they're not coming up on your news feed. And for some people, this is not a big issue. And I honestly go through phases where people from Team Forward Fitness have friended me, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I'll see them and it'll be good. And then there'll be times where I feel like I'm just watching them to see what they're doing, and not because I'm like, oh, she is awesome. Like, I want to emulate, qualities of her. It's like, I'm just stalking them. Like, there's no positiveness in this at all other than stalking. And so I've now just limited it to obviously anybody on our team. I've even people who were on, if you were on the team like a year ago when we were in Forever Fitness, before, if you're listening to the recording, my coach, Emily, she had a big team, and then she quit, and it all just kind of crumbled. Not crumbled, but everyone just kind of went off into their own teams. I've unfollowed them just because you compare, and I don't want to compare because they don't have my life. They don't have my schedule. They don't have my kids. They don't have my inner demons that I'm working through. And I don't have theirs. And I guarantee you that their business isn't all peachy keen, and neither is mine. And so I now follow anyone on the team, Bonnie Engel, anything she posts, I have her go right to my top. So if I go, there's a setting on the follow, you can bring them right to your top. So she comes right up. Keisha Fitzgerald, and Brigida. And then there's a few that I'll search that I like Scotty Hobbs is pretty bomb.com. I like him. Just people who I feel motivated and feel like qualities I want to emulate, not, oh my gosh, they're making how much? Are they advanced rank to what? I don't want any of that. I'm on my own journey, and I am, use motivation when in the team page or in Brigida's team page, when you see the Success Club, use that as motivation. Oh, awesome. Look at all those people getting Success Club 6. I can get Success Club 6. But don't compare. Just like we would say, if you had a challenger, you would tell them not to compare their journey to you. It's the same thing. So try not to do that. And if you find yourself, just acknowledge that gremlin, just like Brene Brown says. So if like you feel like you're comparing, just shine light on it. Say like, oh my gosh, I'm comparing. No thanks, unfollow. So that's kind of it for my, oh, and I was going to say, I added this at the very end because Crystal, if you are not friends with Crystal, you should be. And she posted this awesome video, and I wrote it down at the bottom today. And it was this guy who's doing this awesome, like big mud run, or not a mud run, but like a competitive, very athletic thing that I could probably never do. And it's that, you know, the little words come up and like the inspirational music is in the background. So obviously I'm crying instantly. And it was, he got wheeled up by his dad and he had like a spinal injury. And so then you had to like go up the wall and climb the thing. And so the dad's like trying to push him so he can just get to the rope. And then all these strangers like flood around and, you know, support him and push him. And then they all fall and they all laugh. And then they like push each other again. And then he finally grabs the rope and he climbs a little bit. And then more people from up top take time to, you know, stop their race and pull him up. And then it's just like this really beautiful thing. That is our team. That is what Team Beachbody is. It is not, we're not all independently running races and trying to get somewhere. We are together as one. You know, a huge reason why I love coaching is that my dream is to just get to spend time with people I love. And I love everyone on this team because we were brought into it because of, you know, connections that we've had. And you know, maybe we'll grow and I won't know everyone directly, but I know that they will be like us. And it's going to be awesome when we're just doing things together and feeling motivated by each other. And so when you're struggling, when you have fear, when you have limiting belief, when you have no idea what to post or what to say or where to start, because those are all real things. And if you feel like you're the only one, don't, because there are days that I wake up and I'm like, I have no idea what to talk about. Like, what do I even talk about? What am I as a coach? Connect in the team page or connect in a private message. You know, if the team page is too scary, do a private message and be like, I don't know what to do right now. I don't know what to say. I don't really know where to start. Like, could you just give me some direction, or what are you doing? Or not even that, like, can I just vent? You know, we can all vent. It's just, you get that 5 minutes or however many times you're giving yourself, you know, give 5 minutes or whatever, and then you're done. And then we're just moving forward. One thing that I think would be my action steps I have for everyone are, 1, to find a success partner. I have had multiple success partners in my business because you grow at different paces, and sometimes you just, not even like one grows faster or slower or apart. Your businesses grow in different ways. You know, I had a girl who I went to high school with, and she's like just not working the business. She just wasn't working the business that like I was working the business. And so then we checked in with each other for a while, and it was nice to talk to somebody outside of the Forward or the Forever Fitness, because this is when I was in Forever Fitness. But then it just stopped, and there were no hard feelings. It wasn't like, why are you not talking to me? There was also one who she posted in the big team page, and we became friends. And then I just realized that she wasn't really working the business as consistently as I did. And so it just wasn't the same. And now I have a success partner, Amber, and besides, because she had Punta Cana, and then her whole team in Ohio got to go do Shift Shop, and they all drove together. So she's been like out of town, but we were talking to each other every 2 weeks on a Skype call. And it was just nice to connect and message each other, because you're kind of in the same place. So think about, if you need help finding a success partner, you know, reach out to me or your upline coach. Post in Forever Fitness, post in the Team Bowls Fitness. You know, if you want someone who you just check in with, and it's not like a, hey, you do your stuff. It's not like that. It's just a lifeline, you know, like when you want to share a success, when you want to bounce an idea off, like, hey, this girl sent me this message. Does this sound okay? Or what should I say to this? You know, you have to you're never going to get better unless you practice it. So you might as well just start practicing. And then also to oh, here's my jar. I had this last time too. Okay, here's my jar, everyone. Clearly haven't filled it yet. So this is your consistency jar. Get a cup. It doesn't have to be a jar. I just was at Walmart and happened on the end of the aisle, there happened to be one of these, and I was like, oh, yes. This is your jar. Every time you do a power hour where you like do all of it, whatever you have, you know, wherever you want to be in your business, there's steps you have to get there, you know, steps you have to do daily to be able to get there. Whatever those are, because everyone's look differently. Whenever you do that, put a marble or a penny. I'm going to do pennies in your jar, because 1 penny in your jar isn't going to get you to where you want to be. But you'll slowly see visually as you fill up the jar with your pennies that I guarantee you things in your business, the water will be flowing. You won't have to be pumping as hard. So print out the daily activity tracker, or whatever you need to do. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it being pretty or organized or perfect, or who cares if you have a notebook or a spreadsheet or napkins. It does not matter. If you have been saying you're going to get organized for 5 months, like I have in my business, there have been times where I'm like, well, I can't invite because I don't know who to, because I'm not organized. And so that's the excuse I give myself. Clearly it's not going to happen, so just stop waiting for it. And that's fine, because there are coaches who literally don't do anything fancy and they are fantastic coaches. They go, whatever you need to do, it's not going to be perfect, but nothing is, even if you have a spreadsheet, because you're going to forget to update it. It won't matter. And so print out or do whatever you need to do for the daily business activity tracker. And I'm going to print out the actual one from Beachbody to go back to basics, so that I can see, and you write down, just like, you know, when you have to write things down, like, did anyone have to do that when they were growing up? Like, I will not backtalk my mom, and you had to write it. You couldn't type it, you had to write it, because that made it stick more. Yep, 50 times, yep, at minimum, to get it in your brain. And so just like we check in every night in our challenge groups, and even like, think about I said this in my live video today, like, even on the days you forget to check in, when you get that notification, don't you think, how many ounces of water have I had? Did I do this? You know, you just do the mental check in your brain. So if you get in a habit and in some way, shape, or form, you're writing down what you did in your business, you know, at that time of day, or, you know, for me, it's honestly not the same time of day. There are times of day that I work, like anything from 4 to 7 I can't even survive my life. So there's no coaching ever going on there, but it's like either before work, after work, or after the kids go to bed. So in those 3 time periods, my brain automatically goes to, am I supposed to be working right now? Am I supposed to be doing one of those things? Oh, I already did it. Cool. Moving on. Or, oh, I slept in today. I need to be doing, like, you just train your body to do that, just like you train for the challenge groups. It's the exact same thing, just a different face. So success partner, activity tracker. Those are your takeaways. And that being perfect is overrated. I'm just throwing that in there. That was not a direct bullet point, but I hope that theme was picked up on, is that it's not about being perfect in these consistency. It's the overall. It's kind of like when I told my doctor, like, I don't understand how my son is alive. He doesn't eat. I'm confused. He said, don't look at it from day to day. Look at it in a week span. Look, you know, if he's eating a bunch on Monday and then doesn't eat a bunch again till Thursday, if you were to average that out, you know, that's still something. It's still better than nothing. Everyone's life is different. So if you have to bust out, you know, however many million invites, or however is a million to you on Monday, because you're going to be busy the next couple of days, but it evens out to 2 a week. Does that make sense if you were to average it? I call it a flip and win. And maybe I don't know enough, but I think so. So that's it. Yeah, I think yep, that's all my notes. So that's that. I'm going to unmute. And everyone else's turn to go. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No, I need to get my jar ASAP. I knew you when I was like spiraling. We talked about that. And that was something that I thought was really great because then every day you can kind of see your hard work paying off because sometimes it gets super, super overwhelming. And I also need to stop saying super, super. I realize that in my videos. I say super, super like 70, 100. Of course, my husband felt the need to tell me that, which was so nice of him. And I literally almost punched him in the face. But it was super, super awesome. And so I continue to use that daily. But yeah, no, that's something that I need to like put on my desk or something. So I like, because some days I feel like, God, I've literally talked to so many people and everybody hates me. And, you know, just isn't feeling what I'm feeling and I want them to feel it. And then I, you know, start word vomiting on people. So I think the jar might help me kind of see my actual work in a real, tangible sense. Sorry, we're pissed. It's fine.
The Missy Reber is the one who said it in one of her videos that she had a jar and because the quote is something like a penny a day will do something, and so she did. She showed a penny a day until she got where, you know, she wanted to be, and, you know, now she bought her dream house on a farm. And it's like I bring up
the need to buy it because I think that would be really cool if she did.
That would be cool. I don't think she did, but
see, it'd be like that moment where you go and like cash it in and it's only like $30, but you're like, God, I'm using this $30. You know?
I'm using it. And maybe you could give yourself like a bonus penny for every like challenge pack, like, you know, like a bonus day.
Oh my God. You know what? Genius. That's how I'm going to make my millions.
It's just
sorry, someone's angry. She's like fussy is all get out.
It's all right. So yeah, I hope that everyone got something from this that was inspiring for, you know, I think next week, I think I'm just doing calls every week. I'm going back and forth because if I don't have to do the slides and I can just ramble, and I'd like to get them shorter, but I am a rambler. But I think next week I want to do like not really me talking, but us doing like goal setting. So like or writing your vision out, because everyone's is different. And so, you know, I loved a post Bonnie did a while ago when she talks about money, because she said like, stop thinking wanting money is a bad thing. And I think it's really uncomfortable to talk about, and I feel that way too. It's like, but you know, and she said you have to have more to give more. So it's not about, you know, all the buying a plane or something, you know, I don't know. But it's about, or being Richie Rich or whatever that kid's name is. It's about you know, being able to have the freedom to do the things you want, which could be going on an extra date night or going on a trip. You know, it's not about, or paying for your kid's college. It's not, or, you know, some people want to work and that's fine. And that's great. It's not fine. It's great. It's having the goals in your business to get you where you want to be, because you have to have a motivation. And, you know, Success Club 6 or 5, it's just kind of 6 now because everything's 2 points. Like, that's not a real big motivation if you don't have a why behind it, because you're like, oh, great, I have points on the board. Like, I don't know what this means. Like, I'm waiting for my backpack in the mail. You have to understand that you know, you make Success Club because it's a direct reflection that you're bringing new people in your business. And then you're growing in your income because, you know, at least one of those people are going to stay on Shakeology Auto Direct. And so then the money is going to roll in more. And if you're having issues, if you know, you have to look at what is holding you back. Is posting holding you back because you don't know what to say, you don't know how to be vulnerable? Is the reach out? Like, the reach out has never been hard for me, and then people have been like, I can't reach out. And I'm like, oh, we're all in different places. Me saying, hey, how are you, has always come very, very easy. It's the actual, like, hey, if you want to join a challenge pack, that's a struggle. But some people are struggle with the beginning, like, hey, how you doing, girl? You know, whatever.
It's terrifying.
It's what?
Terrifying.
Yes. And and so there's, it's dive into that. Ask me or post in the page, and we'll find a training because there's a million trainings on it. People do the natural.
Teach us how to say hi.
What? Teach me how to say hi.
Know how to say hi.
That's okay because and they say this every national wake up call. We all were where you are. People started and had 50 friends on Facebook and grew an empire business. People were like terrified. Brigitte is like terrified to talk to people, and she's where she's at. Like, it's just getting through it. It's saying, okay, I'm not going to let this hold me back. I'm just going to figure a way through it, or, going to be really uncomfortable the first couple times. I'm not going to pretend like it's not, but it will get easier. And it just depends on everyone thinks different things are uncomfortable. So, but there's great trainings on everything. I just sit there and scroll for trainings. That's like it's like one of my favorite hobbies. I'm like, I find a new coach and I'm like, ooh, what YouTube videos do you have?
Honestly,
like
right before, that's why we're super cool. Right when I was pregnant, I went through and everyone was driving me nuts on Facebook. So I went through and got rid of like 90% of my friends list.
When you were pregnant?
When I was pregnant, I was still actively coaching. I'm like, you know what? You guys all suck. I'm tired of seeing your posts. I lost it. I don't know. I was like losing my mind. I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is for me. One of those moments where you said you almost threw the book out the window. That was literally me, where I was like, I've gained all this weight. I don't even want to talk about being, pregnant. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about how I feel. I'm throwing up every day. Like, are you kidding me? You want me to post? Like, this is a joke. And then like a friend of a friend, some random creepy guy tried to add me, and I was like, this is it. I'm done. And I just like went through and cleaned house. And then I was like, why did I do that? Like, literally the moment I popped out my baby, I was like, go back to coaching. Oh God, I just got rid of like my entire friends list.
But it's okay, because now you can just only add the people you want to add. It's fine. It's just find the positive in everything. Because
if nothing else, it really pushed me to stop being so stupid. Like I was like, okay, well now you screwed yourself, so you might as well start over and get pumped about it. Yeah.
But now, like, if they ghosted you before, you can act like the process is totally starting over. You're like, hey!
We've never even been friends before. Like, this friend request, I know it's like the third time. You probably thought we were still friends, but I definitely deleted you. Hope that you don't feel like upset about that.
You should just put a public service announcement out, like, heads up.
I was very hormonal. It's not my fault. If you got deleted, I really didn't mean it.
You posted a picture with broccoli. I wasn't feeling broccoli, and deleted.
Seriously, you were just irritating me. I couldn't control my actions at that point. So
before I started coaching, because when in teaching they say like go super private on Facebook and like delete everybody. I did that. Not as many, because I have like a super like what is it, Brenna? The fear of missing out, FOMO.
FOMO. I have FOMO.
Super bad FOMO, and so I deleted some people, but not very many. And but still, then you get into coaching, and you're like, add 2 people to your network, and you're like, damn it.
Social works the same way. They're like, don't add anyone from your work, and I'm like,
oopsie.
So like the whole hospital, delete everyone. My bad.
Is your baby?
Don't post anything.
She's so good.
Or if I move, she'll wake up again.
Yeah, don't move. I can't believe both of my monkeys are in the bedroom together.
Oh, lucky you.
Oh,
I'm like debating doing a live video, and I'm nervous that this one's gonna freak out.
Well, that's for life. Yeah. I had my children crawling all over me in my live video today.
She's on the verge. She's like in that weird time frame where she's
like, I'm really cute, but at any moment I could flip out.
Yeah. And then once I hit that high pitch note, I swear everyone will get off. They're like, oh my God, that's an octave that we didn't know existed.
Huh. All right. Well, Kaylee, come back and smile for the camera.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. I was getting coffee tomorrow. Had to get my coffee ready.
Smart girl. Survival.
It is survival.
Well, my boyfriend works at 5 a.m, so yeah.
Coffee's life.
Ready? 3, 2. Oh, Crystal.
Where'd she go? She's like, oh, no photos.
I hope
Did
I could probably stop recording.
I don't know.